Hi! So finally it's time to talk about electric cars again, because as we all know, the future is electric. Okay, some still don't want to accept this truth and are still in denial, but in the 2020s they will certainly accept the fact that the future is freaking electric. So the EV tax rebate for Tesla are running out soon, and we want to analyze, will Tesla sales therefore get a massive hit next year? And then the Tesla stock keeps pumping and pumping with all the positive developments in China and Gigafactory 3, and we also want to take a look and analyze what's going on over there in China.
Then we have the official EPA rating of the Porsche Taycan, and it's quite disappointing. And we also have a sighting of the Cybertruck on road, and the possibility of a smaller Cybertruck in the future. Then a bit on Gigafactory 4 in Germany, Model 3 being Edmunds' top-rated EV for 2020. And Tesla really seems to be on the way to complete full self-driving. And thus we want to analyze if Germany will become the largest electric car market in Europe in the near future. So stay tuned for this highly interesting development in the world of electric cars.
So now that the US federal EV tax credit will run out for all Tesla cars, basically by the end of the month, what will this mean for the future sales of Tesla in the US? Will they take a massive hit now that the EV tax credit runs out? Tax credits for Teslas were already down to $1,875. Now the cheapest Tesla you can buy right now is the Model 3 Standard Range Plus, just shy of $40,000. Okay, you can also in theory buy the $35,000 Standard Range model if you would directly call Tesla, which probably almost no one does anyway. And the highest you can go is a fully spec'd out Model X at $127.5K. Now considering that the majority of Tesla sales are Model 3s, around 73% to be exact, and that the Model 3 average price is in the high 50Ks, so around 59K as this survey has found, the impact of the $1,875 tax rebate running out soon will in our opinion not be very dramatic, as this is only 3.6% of the average buying price of a Model 3. 3.6%, that is not a lot. And keep in mind, battery costs are dropping and dropping more and more. Therefore, we think that Tesla will be fully capable of reducing the average Model 3 price in America by exactly those 3.6% next year to make up for this price difference, should they see that vehicle sales are tanking. Now for Model S's and X's, of course, the impact will be even more minimal, which Tesla can make up for really fast by just decreasing the average Model S and X price by only about 2%.
On Tesla's Investors Battery and Drivetrain Day in early 2020, we expect some major battery breakthrough announcements, and we also expect the price per kilowatt hour to come down to the region of $100 per kilowatt hour in late 2020. According to this graph by Clean Technica, based on the data from BNEF research. The same way Tesla surprised everyone with the extremely low entry price for the Cybertruck at $40,000. If they see their sales tank, they will just lower the price for the Model 3s by 3.6% and the price of the Model S and the Model X's by 2%, making up for the price difference. And because the battery prices will have dropped even more by then, they can do this even without loss. Hence, we believe Tesla will sell even more cars in the US in 2020. For this year, we will see at least 360,000 worldwide sold cars, an incredible 50% more than 2018. In 2020, however, we will see quite more than 500,000 cars being sold, with Gigafactory 3 going online right now. Maybe again a 50% increase over 2019.
And this expectation is now of course leading to some very nice gains for the Tesla stock. It's really not far away anymore from the all-time high at $389. And we actually are pretty sure that the Tesla stock will make new all-time highs in the not too distant future. This, by the way, is not investment advice. This is just our opinion. As always, don't go all in Tesla stock or take huge loans, or sell your house, your wife, your kids, and don't go all in Tesla stock, please don't do that. Thank you very much. Now this is of course in large part also fueled by the completion of the Gigafactory 3. The first China-produced Model 3s already are rolling off the assembly lines, with 1,000 cars expected to be produced by the end of this year and the ramp up to 3,000 Model 3s per week in early 2020, with a target of 150,000 cars to be produced annually at some point in the next few years in the Gigafactory 3, 150,000 per year. Oh yeah, and Gigafactory 4 near Berlin is actually expected to produce 500,000 vehicles annually at some point in the next years after the ramp up is complete. So probably in 2022, 2023, we will see 500k Teslas being built at the Gigafactory 4 in Berlin. So Tesla will produce far more than 1 million cars per year in the not too distant future. So their market share will grow even more, further solidifying their position as the number one electric car manufacturer for the next very long time. There will be a large empty gap between Tesla and the number two largest electric car manufacturer, a large gap, and this gap will probably get larger even more in the next years. Oh yeah, and talking about the competition, what are the so-called Tesla killers doing meanwhile? Let's take a look at the so-called Tesla killers, shall we?
So this so-called Tesla killer now got its official EPA range, and it's, well, not as high as expected, 201 miles. Not quite Tesla Killer E range, right? That basically means that with a 95 kWh battery, the Taycan has by far the lowest efficiency of any EV. And the Porsche Taycan is a car that starts at 105k euros, the same ballpark as the highest spec Teslas. Well, next time we will certainly see a real Tesla killer. Next time. In other news, we could see a Cybertruck drive on the road at night. It looks really awesome in these shots, and it's rumored that Elon himself was driving that beast. We can see the brutal acceleration here, which would even put gasoline sports cars to shame. Speaking of Cybertruck, it's rumored that we will see a smaller version of the Cybertruck in the future, not only to make it fit better into garages, but also because, of course, here in Europe, the roads are more narrow. You know, we don't have so much space here in Europe. Everything is so cramped. You don't ever find a freaking parking spot anywhere. Oh yes, Cybertruck. Of course, it would be super nice if we can have a smaller version of the Cybertruck for Europe. But it will probably still be larger than 80% of the cars here in Germany.
Now, speaking of Germany, a recent report by Bloomberg revealed that Germany actually surpassed Norway for the first time in total electric vehicle registrations, like for the first time ever in history. And this trend will likely continue, so that Germany will probably become the largest electric vehicle market in Europe. Now, of course, this is the total number of vehicles and not per capita. I mean, we have to see it in context. Per capita, Norway is so extremely far ahead because it has only a population of 5-point-something million and sells as many electric cars as Germany does, with a population 15 times higher. So yeah, Germany still has a very long way to go. But still, these are baby steps Germany is taking, and we always made fun of Germany. I mean, we live in Germany and we are always annoyed by how late Germany actually is in the electric car game and how they were lagging behind the other European nations. They were lagging behind the Netherlands, behind France. They were always the last ones, and now slowly they are starting to warm up to electric cars. And this will become even stronger now in the next years, because now the German government has introduced a 6,000 euro electric car vehicle rebate. And next year also the VW ID.3 will come out, which is said to be around 30,000, maximum 35,000 euros. So with this 6,000 euro rebate, you could get a very good electric car in the 25,000 euro range. So then electric cars will actually really become quite price competitive compared to gasoline or diesel cars. So this will probably then be the tipping point where the electric car adoption will finally also start taking off in Germany. Germany. And it's really about time, because we are so annoyed by this. This way we might not even be so embarrassed to live in Germany anymore regarding electric vehicle adoption.
And with Gigafactory 4 being built in the Berlin area. By the way, some reports suggest that construction might even already start next month, which is just insanely soon. And then the planned CATL battery factory near Erfurt. And now even the German car makers are waking up on EVs. We think that Germany might even have a bright future with respect to electric cars. And as always, we will do our best to promote EVs here in the Munich area. Hopefully in the future with a Cybertruck. Just to see the funny expressions of the conservative Bavarian people here when overtaken by that beast. Then, Model 3 was nominated as the EV of the year 2020 by Edmunds. Unsurprisingly, as this car is probably really the best electric car you can buy right now. Nowhere else will you get the same combination of features and range for a still quite reasonable price. And we also have the news that Tesla seems to be on track to release full self-driving by the end of 2020 as planned. Because in the latest update, 2019.40.2, that some owners have received, adjacent lane speed adjustment and stop sign detection are now available. As part of an early access program, these features now will be tested so that we might really see full self-driving, of course still with supervision, sooner than most thought possible, end of 2020 or early 2021.
So do you agree with us that the EV rebates falling away for Tesla cars beginning of next year probably won't have such dramatic impact on Tesla sales in the US, or do you think like Tesla sales will plummet down to zero?
And do you think that Germany will become the leader for electric cars in Europe in the near future? Like in 2 years?
That would be quite amazing, right? I mean, us living in Germany. Finally, we would be more proud of Germany, maybe even.
And we would be very happy if you would subscribe to our channel, of course, because we regularly upload 2 videos per week, giving you our honest opinions on space flight and electric cars.
And don't forget to turn on the notification bell, right?
So see you next time!
See you!